with the evolution of intelligent building by their definition. The first definition of intelligent building concept is developed by Building Institute, Intelligent Building Institute, located in United States. They defined first definition in 1989. What they says that the intelligent buildings are one which provide a productive and cost-effective environment through optimization of four basic elements. So they focus on optimization part in the four specific areas. That specific areas are structure, systems, services, and management, and the interrelationship between them. So this is the first definition by Intelligent Building Institute. Later, the European Intelligent Building Group, EIBG, they also defined this concept of intelligent building in 1998. This particular group is located in United Kingdom, UK. They defines intelligent building as a building created to give its user the most efficient environment. At the same time, the building utilizes and manages resources efficiently and minimizes the life cost of hardware and facilities. You can see that slightly the definition is modified, and what they focus on users expectations. So users must get the most efficient environment as per their definition. There are many definitions available, and there are slight variations in the expectations in the development of intelligent building. At the same time, what they expect, the building utilizes and manages resources efficiently. So in every domain, the work should be efficiently handled, and there should be minimizes the life cost of hardware and facilities. This is important definition in 1998. The third definition is by Japanese Intelligent Building Institute, JIBI. What they expect? They expect to provide an example of a services. Based on definition, what they say, the intelligent building is building with the service functions of communication, office, automation, and building automation, and is convenient for the intelligent activities. There is one more definition by the Chinese Intelligent Building Association. What they define, they mainly focus here also on the comfortness of and the safety. The main focus of Chinese Building Association, Intelligent Building Association, is on the safety point of view. In 1995, what they defined with some standards, design standards, the intelligent buildings provide building automation, office automation. Some part is same, only some extra things are added in the definition. It provides building automation, office automation, and communication network system, and an optimal composition, integrate the structure, system, service, and management, and providing the building with high efficiency, comfort, convenience, and safety to users. So this is additional terms added by Chinese Intelligent Building Association in 1995 to define this building definitions. An intelligent building is a dynamic and responsive architecture that provides every occupant with productive, cost-efficient, and environmentally approved conditions through continuous interaction among its basic elements. So what are the basic elements considered? The first basic element considered is places. In that places, they define in terms of fabric, structure, and facilities. So what do you mean by fabric? Fabric is a broad way we define a structural material, cladding, insulation, finishes. Means these places is mainly concerned with the construction point of view. Means from civil engineering point of view also, the expectations are high. It should the places in terms of fabric, their structure and the facilities available in the building. So what do you mean by fabric? Is a structural material, cladding, insulation, finishes, etc. that enclose the interior of the building, separating the internal from the external. Very broadly, we can say that the most building, the building fabric will include a number of elements: the roof, the external walls, etc. The second element of the definition is process. Here we are focusing, our main entire focus is on this second process, that is that involves all type of automation related with building, their controls and different types of system implementation. And the last one is the people, that is the service, the before and after service, and the different types of user interface. Finally, the management part is also very important. So maintenance and the performance, because when the automation is particularly the involved or implemented in any particular intelligent building, then thereafter the maintenance of that is very important part, and the devices that are used in particular building automation system, their performance evaluation is also a very important part in the management system. So main intelligent building are work in these four domains. One is civil engineering domain, how they provide the fabric, structure and facilities, that is very important. Then instrumentation engineering or electrical engineering point of view, the process part is very important, how we provide automation solutions to each and every aspect of the building. And then the service point of view also, it is very important, different types of facilities provided through this to the peoples they are working in the particular buildings. That facilities are also very important part in building automation. And lastly, the management of that is also very equally important. When these four things are used properly, implemented properly, then and then there will be a successful intelligent buildings are developed. And these solutions are given by what names we consider at the beginning of the session. All these companies provide all such solutions. So how do the intelligent buildings are differ from the building automation system? There is a small difference between the intelligent building and building automation system. So what is that difference? That also we need to understand very well. Building automation systems helps a facility owner save energy and optimize performance through things like scheduling, controlling, output based on occupancy and more. So mainly building automation system works in scheduling of that particular different types of the things that required to schedule properly, their controlling and their inputs from the sensors. Mainly this building automation system work on this. So but what is the intelligent buildings differ from this? The major difference between BAS and intelligent building is the ability for the intelligent building to analyze data from multiple sources. So analysis part is very important. When analysis is done, then and then we can say that the BAS system is a intelligent building system. BAS systems are work for the intelligent buildings. When we add analysis part. So why there is a need of intelligent buildings? We sometimes also call smart buildings. Smart buildings integrate technology and the IoT solutions to provide the solution to age-old issues of overspend and inefficiency in building construction and use. Mainly the need of this intelligent building is mainly concerned with these two sentences. One is inefficiency. To provide highly efficiency in any building, there is a first need is because of the efficiency. In older days, the efficiency was very less. To provide very high efficiency, this IB plays very important role. And second is inefficiency, overspend means the prices and all the required expenses in a building that are also very important. With these two terms, overspend and inefficiency, there is a need of intelligent building. So what is life cycle of building? So life cycle is the term that is related with the life, refer to the view of building over the course of its entire life. Life cycle means once for example, if we implement this particular BS system or intelligent building systems in any building, so this will be useful for how much will be the life for this particular automation system in any building. That is also very important part. For example, if there any already any building is constructed, so can we apply the building automation type of solutions in that particular building? So for that we need to understand first the life cycle of that particular building. So if we implement this system, can the life cycle will be more for that building, or is it possible with this automation to increase the life cycle of the building? Means there are both type of question. Can we implement this system in existing buildings? That is one. Or if we implement this particular building automation system in any building, can the life cycle will increase? So based on these two questions, we need to understand the life cycle of building. The building life cycle refers to the view of building over the course of its entire life. In other words, viewing it not just as an operational building, but also taking into account the design, the construction, the operation, the demolition, and the waste treatment. So all these 4 or 5 points are required to consider before applying the automation. The life cycle, if we implement any building automation system, that is called as life cycle and integrated design process. For example, if we consider these two, life cycle and integrated design process can be understood as a design process to deliver a building in which its relationship to the surrounding context, technical component and technologies. Because what happens, we need to protect the environmental issues also. So what are the environmental issues that are we need to understand for a particular building? Then what type of technical components are involved in a particular automation and which technologies we are using in that. So all these things are required to consider in building automation system. The objective can be obtained once interdisciplinary professional teams members work collaboratively right from the inception and conceptual design to make strategic decisions and address all the design issues. In this way, energy efficient technologies and strategies can be incorporated into building design in a way that is integral to life cycle considerations. So by considering all these points mentioned in this particular definition, that is conceptual design to make strategic decision and address all the design issues so that the building become energy efficient, and for that we have to use energy efficient technologies and strategies so that the life cycle of the building can be improved. The life cycle based decisions making, how the decisions can be taken place. The decisions made during the design process, all the decisions are made during the design process, such as built form, orientation, design features, building materials, structural system, mechanical and electrical equipment should be based on life cycle assessment. So all these implementation in any building are related with life cycle assessment. There is methodology also to find out the life cycle assessment. The assessment should be taken into account that the product or the systems embodies energy, performance, life cycle cost, lifespan and end of life. So these important keywords are very essential in implementing BIS system to make that particular building a intelligent building. So what is building automation system? What are the different components of this building automation system? The building automation systems control various components within the building structure, such as heating, ventilation and air conditioning. This is very prime important component, HVAC. The primary goal of this type of infrastructure is to improve system efficiency. As we always talk on this efficiency. So why this HVAC is required? To improve efficiency, mainly the energy efficiency. The second advantage is reduce cost. Maybe maintenance cost, purchase cost, maybe the implementation cost may be higher, but mainly the maintenance cost will definitely reduce with this, and increase safety. So safety is equally important. BIS or BMS, both terms are same. There is no difference in these two terms. Building automation system or building management system is a centralized automatic control of a building's HVAC, lighting, security and other system through BIS. So you can see that there are lightings controls also, there is a security system also, and other systems like fire alarm system and other control systems are also included in building automation system. These are controlled by central control unit. So this is in detail architecture. We can see that maybe we can have right from the IB intelligent building management station, that is workstation, IBMS workstation. There is a IBMS workstation, then that is connected with the monitors. Then there are different what we can say that the network lines. Then they are connected with the servers, web server, and all these things are connected with the security through internet. And different protocols are used here. For example, BACnet protocol, TCP, IP, LAN, different protocols are involved in different communication. For example, in the left side, we can say that, so this particular site is for the typical floor area. So from these particular protocols, there is a router. From router, the signals may be given to the controlling of the lights. Then there may be access type of control. There may be heating, ventilation and air conditioning type of control. So means from this particular workstation, the signals are given to the floor area, the signals are given to the switching room area, then there may be signals given to individual rooms and panels also. So in that there are utility meters, other services, CCTV, all sub components are involved in a particular floor area. Mainly we know that in any building, particularly CCTV is an important part, right? That is also involved in a floor area, and the lightning part is also important, and access control. When we have the second router, the second router is again associated with the switching room, right? So in switching room again there are lighting controls, that part is also there. Then there is a HVAC part is also there. Then there are HVAC switch gears, then utility meters, CCTV part is common, and some sort of generator is mentioned over here. So diesel generator, so that is required in emergency situations to produce the light for the entire building. So for that, different router is used, and there may be different types of controls also, maybe fire alarm system, and there is a excavation warning system. There are we can say that the sprinklers, right, smoke detectors, and different types of controlling mechanism that are involved in the right hand part. So in this architecture we can see that this involves a IoT based system, as well as some sort of sensors, some sort of controllers, and this is not shown in detail here, but there are many components are involved. If we highlighted the majority of the components, we can say that there is a centralized workstation, there are some monitors, LCD monitors, there are servers, there are web servers, firewall, there are routers, so and different protocols are involved. Many components are there in this particular building automation system architecture. So as we highlighted different systems in building automation system, so main systems now we are well familiar with now is HVAC system, some electrical systems, lighting system, and some miscellaneous utilities like hydrant system, water system, because pumping of the whole building is the water is provided to whole and each and every part of the building by different pumps and motors. So you can imagine that how many pumps and motors are involved in a particular building. So their complete control is very important, and you can imagine the complete building is well ventilated, and so that their ventilation, their heating, all these control things are required in a particular building. As well as for safety point of view, there may be fire alarm system, there may be fire detection system, smoke detection system, life safety systems, and their control is also important. So as it is already mentioned, fire detection system, access control system, and different CCTV systems, and perimeter protection system. So what are perimeter protection system? Mainly to detect the intruder. The most common points equipped with the sensing devices for premise perimeter protection are doors. So in every door, window, vent, skylight, or any opening point of the building, it is essential to implement perimeter protection system. If we consider whole building, so how many if we go in details, so how many perimeter protection systems are required? In one room, some windows we consider, some doors we consider, so that many sensors we required to implement, and by different buses we have to pass that signal to the controller, and again from the controller to the alarming system. So it's a very complex type of system if we imagine a complete building. So mainly highlighted part of the building automation system are HVAC system, different electrical systems like pump, motors, generators. Then there are lighting systems, hydrant, water systems, fire, lights, safety systems, fire detection system, access control systems, CCTV systems, and perimeter protection systems. All these are the components of building automation system. So why there is the importance of HVAC system in building management system or building automation system? What is the role of this HVAC system? So this is just the introductory part, not in detail. The HVAC system, that is that is heat, ventilation and air conditioning system, monitors and control high side equipment, including chiller. Chiller is also there through integration on Modbus, BACnet for training of parameters. This is the one role of HVAC. Monitoring and control of pumps and other associated equipment for the high side, right? So controlling of the pump is also the main part in HVAC system. There is a controlling in chiller system as well as in the pump system. Monitoring and control of AHUs, that is air handling units. So this is the third important control part in HVAC system, that is air handling unit. So we have to control air handling unit also, to monitor that also. Then we have to control variable frequency drives. There are different variable frequency drives that also we require to control in HVAC system. And we can also control IAQs, that is indoor air quality control. There may be measurement, there may be control, all these things. Monitoring of CO, carbon monoxide levels in basement, that is also the part of HVAC system. Then integration of precision air conditioner for server, room, switch, hub, IDF, IDF rooms. So means integration of precision air conditioners. So it is also the prime responsibility of this HVAC system to provide the precision air conditioner for the server room, for the switch box, for the hub, for the IDF, that is intermediate distribution frame, that is the cable frame rack, we can say that room. This particular room is important room, in that the air conditioner is a important device that is placed over there, and their control, their precision control is also the responsibility of HVAC system. What is the role of security in smart building? So what kind of security provided by this particular security mechanism? The smart buildings are made up of vast number of systems, but no building can be smart without the proper safety and security measures in the place. So proper safety and security measures are important in any smart building. A safe, secure environment is a comfortable, productive environment, said Joe Oliveri, VP and GM of Security for Building Technologies and Solutions in North America. Joe Oliveri is a GM, VP and GM of Johnson Control. What he says that a safe, secure environment is a comfortable, productive environment. So this is the importance he highlighted in terms of security and safety. With integrated comprehensive security and fire and life safety systems, oversight in place, facility managers are better equipped to minimize the disruption and focus on creating what matters most: a safe, secure environment, maximum efficiency and uptime, and a healthy bottom line. So this is the definition given by this Johnson Control that highlighted the importance of the safety systems or security systems in any smart building. In terms of security systems and what is necessary, Asim Joshi, he is a country GM of Honeywell Building Solutions, pointed to an integrated system of fire, access control and intrusion detection, HD video surveillance and analytics, and secure credentials as some of the key security features to focus on. He highlighted the major security systems in this particular sentence. What he suggests, he suggested that, or pointed out that, the integrated system for the fire is very important, required in any building. Then there is access control and intrusion detection is also very important part of security system. Also HD video surveillance, high definition video surveillance and their analytics is also very important. And finally secure credentials as some of the key security features. So all these features are mainly involved in Honeywell's solutions. So now from this we can understand that the importance of security in any smart or intelligent building. What is the importance of the fire systems in any smart or intelligent building? The digitization of buildings, according to Louis Sau, technical leader of kinematic industrial product at Cisco System. This is one more company that is involved in building automation, mainly for the fire systems. Is slowly impacting all the building systems, although at this time the life safety system, for example fire alarm, is still a closed loop system from the building code perspective. So all other systems are highly new systems are introducing any smart building, but parallelly, equally, the fire system, there is no alternate solutions available for the fire system. The fire alarm system is a very crucial part of any intelligent or smart building. There is no other alternate solution, and their closed loop is very essential. If any fire is detected, and immediate action based on that fire is very important aspect related with the security. Fire alarm system do have interfaces that allow other system to receive notifications of alarms. So this is their details mentioned over here. The roles of digital building technology today include providing secondary mass notification in reaction to an alarm in order to facilitate the safe exit from the building. So in emergency situation, it is very essential to provide facility for the safe exit from that particular building, facilitating the safe exit of the building occupants, assisting in the identification of false alarms through the sensor correlation. There may be false alarm, but that identification and their correlation is also a very important type of detection mechanism need to be implemented with this, and identifying the occupied spaces and counted occupants during the building emergencies in order to assist the first responders. So all these things are very important in fire systems. And one more important subsystem is lighting system. So why that is also important, as we are well aware, the lighting systems and their control is equally important. This can be done through access control, and access control is not only for the lighting system, but that is also for the other system. So in this sentence, it is clearly mentioned the importance of the access control in the building automation. Access control has historically been a key component of building security system. Today, the role of access control is of increased importance and can be integrated with other systems to provide a holistic view of building operations with more intelligent analysis and decision making. With the help of this access control, it is possible to have more intelligent type of analysis, more detailed analysis is possible, and based on that, it is very fastly the decision making can be possible by implementing the access control system. One example is given by Oliveri from the Johnson Control, the importance of this access control. How access control can be integrated with fundamental building system such as heating and cooling for increased efficiency. When this system function as one, heating and cooling sensors can use the data aggregated by the access control system to the better automate temperature control based on the number of people in a particular room area. So this example is not related with lighting, but the access control system can be useful in heating and cooling type of controls. In that temperature, if temperature is properly controlled, then if the person is present, then and then that particular system will be turning on. Otherwise, there is a reduction in efficiency, the waste of energy. So by detecting a particular person in a particular room or place, and then efficient based on that data, that particular system will be turned on, is the main primary responsibility of access control system. And how this particular system is also useful in lighting system. The same can be useful in lighting also. If a lighting is required, then and then that particular lights are on. So the access means the detection of the person over there, based on that presenceness of that person, the particular system will be turning on. The lighting example, what they mention, the lighting can be integrated and managed with the access control. By turning lights on and off as the people enter and leave the rooms, and in more sophisticated applications, by dimming or changing the light colors. Means this much type of things can be possible in a particular smart building. So by dimming of that, changing the lighting colors, so to improve the efficiency, very small and small things are required to be considered, and that are covered under this access control. So when a person is present, then a light is on. So how much light is required for that particular room? That small things are considered in this lighting controls. There are four different levels mentioned in this slide. The application level or the field level, we can say that. Then there is a field controller level, integration level, and top is management level. In top level, there is a workstation. Through that workstation, the signals goes to the integration level where there are different routers, gateways where gateways are present. From gateways, the signal goes to different types of controllers. For example, direct digital controllers. You can see that there are different subzones also in that particular layer. This is one DDC, second DDC, third DDC. Likewise, now that DDCs are involved with the application level or field level areas. In application level, there are different sensors and different actuators or different types of relays. They are involved in the application level or field level. The same type of structure is also there in the gateway type of system. In gateway type of system, there are different types of we can say that the protocols, and then that protocols are given, the protocols are connected to different DDC controllers, and again some sort of control is possible through that area also.